Hello all, welcome to Read to Share. Today's story is a Peppa Pig story called Stars. It is almost time for bed. Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig, Peppa are having mugs of hot milk. Snort, snort. George comes running in wearing his spacesuit. George, why are you wearing that spacesuit? Asked Daddy. You should be in your pyjamas. Hee hee, snort, snort. George loves everything to do with space. Clunk, clunk. Oh dear, George is trying to drink through his helmet. George, cries Peppa, take your space helmet off to drink your milk. Peppa takes George's helmet off. Slurp, slurp, burp. That's better. It's bedtime, little ones, calls Daddy Pig. Peppa and George are tucked up in bed. George likes to listen to his space mobile. Not space again, sighs Peppa. It's boring. Space isn't boring, Peppa. It's full of wonderful stars, smiles Daddy Pig. Snort, I can't see anything, says Peppa, looking out of the bedroom window. It's easier to see the stars outside, explains Daddy Pig. If you put your coat on, we could go and see. That one is the North Star, says Daddy Pig. Peppa sings a star song. North Star, are you near or are you far? Can we get there in a car? The stars are too far to get by car, but they look closer through a telescope, replies Daddy. Grandpa Pig has a telescope, says Mummy Pig. It's late, but we can drive to his house just this once. Peppa and George have arrived at Granny and Grandpa Pig's house. Mummy Pig rings the doorbell. Ding dong. What are you doing here? Asks Grandpa. Could we take a look through your telescope, please? Asks Mummy Pig. Very well, replies Grandpa. To the top of the house we go. Grandpa Pig's hobby is looking at the stars. Snort, here she is, old bless, says Grandpa Pig. Whoa, gasped Peppa, seeing the telescope. Who's for the first look? Asks Grandpa. Me, shouts Peppa. It's the North Star, cries Peppa. We sailors use that star to find our way home, explains Grandpa Pig. Daddy used it to find his way here, Peppa adds, smiling. Now it is George's turn to look through the telescope. He can see a planet with rings. Snort, what else is in the sky? Asks Peppa. George can see the planet Saturn, says Grandpa. What is Saturn like? Cries Peppa. Saturn has rings made of rock and ice, and it is very, very cold, says Grandpa Pig. We could build a snowman, cries Peppa. Quick, look, Peppa, gasps Grandpa. It's a shooting star. You have to make a wish. I wish that when George is old enough to have his own rocket, he will take me into space, cheers Peppa happily. Snort, snort, grunts George. Ha ha, snort, everyone laughs. The end. Thank you for listening. Today's story is called Miss Rabbit's Day Off. Peppa, George and Susie Sheep have had a sleepover at Rebecca Rabbit's house. It's fun having carrots for breakfast, laughs Peppa. I could eat carrots all day, agrees Daddy Rabbit. Mummy Rabbit's sister, Miss Rabbit, pops in to say hello. I can't stop long, she says. I've got lots of work to do. I'm working at the supermarket, selling ice creams and driving the bus. Miss Rabbit trips over one of Richard's toys. Her ankle is hurt. You must stay here and get better, decides Mummy Rabbit. I'll do your work for you. Mummy Rabbit puts Rebecca and her friends in charge of looking after Miss Rabbit. Luckily, Susie Sheep has her nurse's outfit with her. Don't worry, she says, I am only a pretend nurse. Mummy Rabbit goes straight to the supermarket. Miss Rabbit is ill, she tells everyone. I'll be doing her job today. Have you ever worked at a checkout before? Asks Mr. Dog. Mummy Rabbit has not. Running a supermarket checkout is quite hard. Miss Rabbit calls home. We need more help, she cries. The job is going to take me all day. Peppa phones Miss Rabbit's ice cream stall. Daddy Pig answers. Miss Rabbit is ill. You've got to sell the ice cream today. Ho ho, snorts Daddy Pig. I'm an expert at ice cream. He gets to work. Selling ice cream is quite hard. Soon the ice cream begins to melt. The ice cream is all runny. Ice cream soup, anyone? Asked Daddy Pig. Peppa phones Grandad Dog. Miss Rabbit is very ill. Can you drive her bus today, please? Grandad Dog gets to work, but driving a bus is quite hard. It is even harder when you have cars to fix too. Back at Rebecca Rabbit's house, Miss Rabbit is feeling better. Can I get up now? She asks. Susie Sheep shakes her head. No, you must lie very still. But please keep breathing. It's not easy doing all your jobs, says Mummy Rabbit at the end of the day. It's not easy sitting down all day, says Miss Rabbit. She will definitely be back at work tomorrow. Ha ha, hee hee, snort, ha ha. The end. Today we're reading a story called Peppa Pig. Beep beep BRROM, George's noisy vehicle book. If you'd like to hear more books from me, please subscribe to my channel. Peppa and her family are going for a picnic in the countryside. Hooray! Cries Peppa. I love picnics. George loves picnics too, but he wants to stay at home and play with his toys. Cheer up, George. We'll have a lovely day, says Daddy Pig, beeping his horn. Beep, beep, giggles George. He likes their noisy red car. Off they drive down the hill. But what's that noise? It's Mr. Zebra's post van. We're stuck in a traffic jam, says Mr. Zebra. Oh dear, says Daddy Pig. This isn't a good start. Honk, honk, laughs George. At last they're on the move. But what's that noise? It's Mr. Bull's digger. Moo! You'll have to wait, bellows Mr. Bull. We're digging up the road. Not another delay, cries Mummy Pig. Dig, 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 laughs George. At last Mr. Bull has finished and off they go. But what's that noise? It's a fire engine. You'll have to wait while I put out the fire, shouts Mrs. Sheep. Nee-naw, cries George, bouncing up and down on the back seat. At last the fire is put out and off they go. But what's that noise? It's a train. Daddy Pig has to stop while the train whizzes past. Choo, choo, laughs George. Can we go for our picnic? Asks Peppa. What a good idea, says Mummy Pig. But George doesn't want to go home. He loves seeing all the noisy vehicles. Cheer up, George, says Peppa. You'll be able to play with all your noisy toys. And he does. Beep, beep. Honk, honk. Dig, dig. Nina. And choo choo. The end. Please look for my next story. Thank you.